Good day, everyone. I am Ms. Caroline Ramos from the Student Clubs and Activities Office of De La Salle School. The mission of our office is to promote the holistic formation of students based on the inspiration and guidance of the Christian teachings and the Lasallian Core Values taught by our founder, St. John Baptist De La Salle. As mentioned by Sir JJ earlier, it is a challenge on how we can motivate our students to be active, engaged, and positive during this time while continuing their education. The present health crisis poses a big question on how we can continue our goal of shaping Lasallian achievers and servant leaders for societal change. It was made clear to us, I think, 2 months before our classes started, that we will be having the online distance learning setup. So we asked ourselves, how can we foster resilience and adaptability, especially this academic year, when meaningful interaction is more difficult? So in response to that, our office decided to focus on two specific areas. The student council, or some schools call it the student government, and the student groups, which refers to the different clubs and organizations. So for our student council, this is the arm of our office which aims to empower students to organize, execute, and lead different projects and programs for the student body. We have one for grade school and another one for high school. Well, it is surprising to see how imaginative and resourceful and creative these students are. They were able to think of projects that relate to achievement in academics, arts, and sports, values formation, relationship building, service to society and the environment. And all of these are done online. Here are just some of their activities that have already been implemented for the past 2 months. Not only were they successful in coming up with new projects that millennials like them are able to conceptualize, but they were able to receive invitations and participate in activities of De La Salle Philippines, the Lasallian East Asia District, Youth Advocates for the Philippines, and other webinars on social issues. Now, for student groups, again referring to our clubs and organizations, at first we were hesitant of having student groups this year, especially since there were so many factors to consider. But I am glad that we decided to push through with these. It turned out that the clubs and organizations provided an outlet or a breather for our students from their academic tasks. These groups provide them with opportunities to make meaningful interaction with others, join clubs that are of their interests, see their friends, and learn new things. For the past academic years in our school, participation in clubs are required, graded, and done once every week. Now, we acknowledge that since these are extraordinary times, we have to adjust and even deviate from our usual practices. The first big change that we made is to still have these clubs and organizations without making them required. This means that attendance is optional and will not be graded. And instead of having club meetings every week, we just have these every other week. Okay, for grade school, the club meetings are held on the first and third Wednesdays of the month, while for the high school, the clubs and organizations are held every second and fourth Wednesdays of the month. Students are encouraged to attend the same clubs and organizations for the entire school year, but they are not required. They may also attend more than one group, provided that it will in no way be in conflict with their academics. By the way, the organizations in our school are open only to high school students. As for the moderators, who are mostly teachers, this is also not in any way part of their assigned workload or teaching load. Although they did volunteer to be club or organization moderators, we make sure that they still get monetary compensation for their time and hard work. We also significantly lessened the documents that we required them to submit, and everything is done online. We mainly use Google Drive for this, including Google Docs, Sheets, and Forms for documentation and submission. Now, regarding the schedule of our clubs and organizations, these are included in the weekly plan and study guide that are posted and sent by the level coordinators to the students and parents. The list contains the details of the clubs and organizations, including the links that students may simply click in order to attend the meetings of their preferred groups. For this, the Google Classroom and Google Meet are mostly used, although there are a few who make use of Microsoft Teams. We still have the same categories for our student groups. These are academics, games and sports, leadership and religious, music and arts. Now, you might think that there is nothing interesting or different about this, but wait till you hear what these clubs are. So, for academics, we have the debate club, student publications, clubs on investment, astronomy, among others. For games and sports, we do have a few online gaming clubs like Mobile Legends, but we also have dance and fitness clubs, basketball, floorball, judo, and aikido clubs. For leadership and religious, we have everything from Girl Scouts to social action volunteer groups, with several of them being religious groups which are affiliated to our campus ministry office. For music and arts, we have various clubs about digital art, media, clay forming, penmanship and calligraphy, theater, modern dance, and others, plus music clubs such as chorale, strings, band, rondalia, and others. It is really amazing how these moderators conduct their clubs. It is very evident that they are passionate in what they are teaching and that they like what they are doing. It is also heartwarming to know that although they are not required to attend, the students still do, simply because they enjoy it. My team and I know this because we make it a point to check on every club or organization meeting. Yes, we are doing this to check the attendance of both moderators and attendees for documentation purposes. However, we cannot help but be impressed every time. For that, I thank and salute our moderators. Now, ever since we started our school year last July, our, our office on student clubs and activities had been very busy with the following. So we had the orientation for new students, leadership formation for student council, welcoming of students and teachers, student council turnover and orientation. We also had the online awarding ceremony for achievement in clubs and organizations for the previous school year. We were able to have several meetings already for clubs and organizations. Plus, we have two featured segments in Animal Connects, which I believe was mentioned earlier already. Now, you may think that the Office on Student Activities may not have much to do this academic year, which is probably why in some schools, similar student activities offices had been dissolved. Well, as you have heard, this is certainly not the case in our school. We were surprised by how creative our students are. We were equally surprised by how creative our teachers and moderators are. And we cannot wait to be surprised even more by their other ideas in the coming months. It is surely not a simple task to find a healthy balance of academic and non-academic tasks per week while pursuing Lasallian excellence. It is not easy to provide opportunities for character formation and active leadership with the current health crisis right now. It is definitely a challenge to provide students with opportunities to to deepen realizations of being Lasallians who are competitive, resilient, and reflective during these difficult times. But we try our best. And I am pleased to say that, well, I sincerely believe that we are able to do it one small step at a time. As I end my talk, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the La Salle Zobel School, the administrators, and the La Salle Information and Mission Department for their support. And most especially, the SCAO team and the student councils for all their hard work in making these activities possible. So together, we continue to form Christian achievers for God and country. Thank you very much, and Animo Lasal.